What's up everybody, my name is Darth Jeswick and welcome back to my channel. Today we're building a townhouse in Windenburg using Lilsimsies Townhouse shell. The first townhouse that we're working on is going to be a little bit more modern. It's going to match some of the surrounding apartment buildings, it looks like in the background, that are just like debug apartments. And the other two are going to be a little bit older, and this whole lot is entirely base game, so everybody can download it. And then when the new pack comes out, we can easily go in and add all the other things that we need, the appliances and stuff. We do have tester sims today. It's actually the Moss family from my Growing Together Let's Play. I added a couple people, and they have pets, so I'll go in and post a version that has like pet bowls and stuff in it too, because I do think it would be fun to go back in and like place it unfurnished and just have the whole shell and like refurnish it with all the packs instead of just the base game, because a few of these little bump outs in the older houses would look really nice with those cats and dogs like corner chairs. So I will go in and post another version eventually. Still working on the exterior of the more modern house. I wanted this stone from the base game to act as like a breakup of the red, because there's lots of red brick on this lot and I liked the stone. And this is the house that really matches like the apartments and the buildings like in the background of Windenburg. I really wanted to get all the landscaping done before I went in and did any of the furnishing, just because I know that after furnishing 3 townhouses I was not going to want to do any landscaping. Overall though, I kept it pretty simple, using some of our little low-lying pale flowers, some purple daisies, and some lavender, as well as these like tall shrubs. They look a little raggedy, but I like the way that they look. It gives it a little bit more natural of a feel. And then the second apartment is where our grandparents are going to be staying, and they're really into gardening, so I put a bunch of pots everywhere. Like we've got a couple pots in the backyard as well, like some of the bigger ones, and then a few out front here. I didn't plant anything in the front ones, but I did plant apple trees in the backyard, so there's that. Oh, and it's fall in my game, so you might not see any of my sims right now because I wanted to get a better idea of what the landscaping looked like in the summer. But I do think it looks pretty good in the fall also, because we have some maple trees that turn red and some of the trees that turn a little bit yellow in the fall. For the third townhouse, I just went with a little magnolia tree as well as some of the hydrangeas, just in white. The third apartment building here is going to be where our family lives, so that's a 2-bedroom apartment. I keep calling them apartments, it's a townhouse, but I mean, it's the same thing, right? The more modern apartment building is going to be where Freddie's sister lives. She's a bachelorette, so she lives on her own, she does her own thing, she wants to become a world famous celebrity, so I wanted to give her enough space to do her own stuff. It's an 8-sim household, so I'm not really sure how it'll work once the pack comes out, but you'll probably be able to like split it up into 3 different families, I'm assuming. This lot used to be where the Harbor Quarter Gym is in Windenburg, in like the main city part. I gave it a couple of lot traits, including the home studio, homey, and great soil lot traits, because I mentioned before they like gardening, so I wanted to have something to help them with that. And then the home studio just helps with like painting and art, and homey helps with like cooking and mixology skills. And I really don't want my sims to burn down the houses, so I always put my homey lot trait on so that they gain the cooking skill faster. But we're almost done with the landscaping here. I'm working on the backyard, which is actually going to be our shared space between all 3 townhouses. I put a little hot tub out here, a couple of grills so that your sims can come and cook out here, and then a monkey bar set for the kids when they're older. I say kids, but there's only 1 child on the lot. And then of course our gardening supplies for our grandparents. We have to have our telescope so that your sims can possibly die, and then I also added a handiness table so that your sims can work on that skill and fix their own appliances and whatnot, which is one of the skills that I always have my sims do, because having the handiness skills allows you to upgrade all your furniture and make your bed more comfortable so that your sims get energy back fast. I tried to put the hot tub over by the bachelorette's house, and I also gave her more of a patio space. We also have another grill over here and a table so that your Sims can all sit outside and eat. I went in and added all of the wallpapers to the apartments off camera just because I couldn't decide on what I wanted, so it took me a while and I didn't want to just film me staring at the wallpaper menu. Chose this wood paneling for behind the TV in the little living room area here. We've got some white and black accents going on with the red. And these stairs, for some reason, just freak me out in The Sims. I don't know why, but I have to always put a wall like halfway between them when they're like switched back like that. I don't know why. It just makes me feel like too empty, and I can't really fit anything under the stairs without breaking them. So I usually put that wall in between. This is probably one of my little favorite TV tables in the entire game. It's just like, it's actually from the holiday pack. It's not from the base game, but it does count as base game because it's like a free item that anybody can download to their game, should have already installed in their game, and use these modern floor lamps as well. I think they're kind of funky looking, but I like them. These apartments are pretty narrow, so I had a little bit of trouble feeling like I had enough space for everything. And of course I had to have our Bob Pancakes poster in here. This is kind of what I based this entire apartment off of, actually. I love Bob Pancakes. He's probably one of my favorite townies, and I really want him to live out his stardom, you know. So I included a little painting of him in here and put like a little light over it. We got a few plants in here, as well as another little console table here just for some other decoration. I had to move everything forward, so I'm not really sure if your Sims can walk around in here very well. I did play test it, but you know, some glitches might happen, so if that does, I'm sorry. We've got some candles like everywhere in this build. We also have the flirty heart bucket from the base game. It's a date reward that you can get for earning like silver or something like that. And it makes your Sims flirty, so I thought it would be fun to put that in our little bachelorette's house. But we're working on the kitchen now. Everything is red. We got the red cabinets from the base game, the more modern looking ones. And I thought it would be fun to use these little red chairs also, as well as a glass table. We've got a little coffee bar set up in here also. Just really quickly did that, kind of using some alt placing to make sure that everything is on the counters. And then we're working on the bedroom. We've got some books over there, some tissues, you know, just because, not for any specific reason. I put a guitar in the living room just for some skills, because when you're an actor, you actually have to have like a ton of skills. Just to do everything for your job. I put a little fitness thing out here, the punching bag. I don't know why I couldn't think of the word, but I added another flirty heart bucket in here, as well as a easel for painting. Out of all of the apartments, I think this is the one that took me the longest. I don't know why, but I think some of the more modern stuff in the game is not as good. I don't really like some of the like styles of it, but we have to go with what we have for the base game. I also gave her an office. Her name is Isabella McAdams. She's Freddie's sister. She is romantic, creative, and a foodie. She has the world-famous celebrity aspiration, which makes her gregarious as her bonus trait. She's pretty fun. She has a dog named Kaya that's a Great Dane who's loyal, energetic, and smart, and I will go back in and put like pet food bowls in the build just so that my Sims can feed their animals, so don't worry about that, because I do think it would be fun to try and use the same shell and use all the packs just to see how much nicer I could make it. We've got the ground floor already done for the second building here, the second townhouse. This is where the grandparents live, and they're actually Felicity's parents. We have Margaret and Hector Moss. Margaret is cheerful, a cat lover, and family-oriented. She has the successful lineage aspiration, which gives her the domestic bonus trait. Hector is childish, erratic, and family-oriented, and he has the same aspiration as Margaret. You know, their house is a little bit fancier, they have a nicer bed, you know, they've lived here a lot longer than everybody else, so it makes sense that they have a lot nicer stuff. And I'm still on the fence about these curtains that I used in this build, because they don't really have a lot of curtains in the base game that I do like. These ones made a little bit of sense. They almost like fit the window perfectly, so, and they match with our rug that we have in here. I wanted to have like a fireplace in this build, because we don't have like a thermostat or anything, and it was fall in my game, so they got a little cold. Although I do feel a little bit bad for the other apartments though, because they don't have a fireplace or anything, so we'll have to add like a thermostat at one point. I didn't forget the chimney, so we got that there, and it like actually smokes when your Sims light the fire, which is pretty cool. They also have a small study upstairs, but there's not much in it, so I didn't show it in the video, but I will show it in the tour. But we're finally on our last townhouse here. We've got a more modern looking kitchen, some nice butcher block countertops. We've got a nice grand piano in the living room. I put that jar of cookies back in the grandparents' house. I thought it would be fun, a little detail, just to have like cookies for the grandchildren. And for our last house, we have Felicity. She is good, romantic, and a bookworm. She has the best-selling author aspiration. And Freddie, who is clumsy, a geek, and loves the outdoors. He has the nerd brain aspiration, which makes him a quick learner. And then we have Naya, who is a wiggly infant. But that is just about all for today's speed build. We'll be getting to the tour in just a few moments, but if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button because it really helps out. I try to upload a couple videos a week, so subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button to get a notification every time I post a new video. I hope you all have an amazing day wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you all in the next video. Dag dag!